Good morning. Let's make our hips healthy. We're going to start lying on our back. On your back, you're going to find your breath. Take a moment to simply think about the back of your rib cage, the back of your pelvis, open through your shoulders. Make sure your head can be flat on the ground or on a towel if you need a little support. Then use this breath to begin leading your pelvis in a pelvic rock. So as you inhale, let your pelvis rock toward your tailbone. And then as you exhale, follow the exhale and rock your pelvis toward your belly button. Inhale, rock your pelvis toward your tailbone. Exhale toward your belly button. Inhale toward your tailbone. Exhale toward your belly button. Then continue this movement and really imagine how your femur bones, your thigh bones are staying still and your pelvis is changing its relationship to them. You toward your tailbone and toward your belly button. And this is moving your thigh bones to different places in the hip socket. And then you want to find the place where your thigh bone is centered, right next to your pubic bone. Your tailbone is heavy, your ribs are heavy. And now rock from one side to the other. Reach your knee away from you. And back to the center. And reach your knee away. Back to the center. 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 And again, reach your knee away. And back to the center. And then circles all the way around. And just find all the parts of your pelvis and all the relationships your pelvis can have with your femur bones. And then go in the other direction. Allowing your breath still to lead this circle. And then just do a couple more rocks just to kind of settle in and find that place in the center. And then pick up one leg. And you're going to take your right hand and place it right on your right thigh. And then pull your right hand into your right thigh. And then relax. And then again, pull your right hand into your right thigh. And release. And again, pull it in. And one more time. And then grab onto the back of your thigh and push your thigh away. Push your thigh away. Push your thigh away. And then press your thigh in. So your hand goes on the inside of your thigh. And press your thigh in. And press your thigh in. And then press your thigh out. Your hand goes on the outside of your thigh. And nothing's really moving, but you're finding that engagement of the muscles around your hip girdle. We have a shoulder girdle and a hip girdle, and we want them both to be healthy. And now the other side. So pull your left hand towards your left thigh and push and pull so that nothing moves. And release. And push and pull. And release. Push and pull. And release. Push and pull. And release. Take your hand to the back of your thigh. Push your hand towards you and your thigh away from you. And release. And push and pull. And release. Push and pull. And release. Push and pull. And release. Now take your hand on the inside. Push in. And push in. And push in. And then take your hand on the outside. Push out. Push out. Push out. And push out. Then put both feet back on the ground. And now rock your pelvis again and feel the change in mobility. Just giving your brain a little bit of information helps it understand exactly how much more mobile the hip sockets can be. Now let's take this into a bridge, a strengthening exercise as you're going to rock your pelvis towards your belly button. Lift your pelvis up into the air. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, rock your pelvis towards your tailbone. And exhale, roll up. Lift your pelvis up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Roll up. And exhale. And roll. And roll. Just feeling that mobility through your hips that helps you find the strength. Now take your arms out to the side, and we're going to open one knee out to the side. So now we're moving the legs in the hip socket. Keeping the pelvis still, just moving the legs. And back in. And open one knee out. Bring it back in. Open the other knee out. Bring it back in. Open one knee. Then from there, point the other knee along with the knee and then let your pelvis go. And then from here, pull your pelvis back towards the center. Pick up one knee and then the other. So we're doing these knee drops. Open one knee. Send the other knee over. Let your pelvis follow it. Pull your pelvis back towards the center. Pick up one knee and then the other. Open one knee. Send the other knee over. Reach your knees over. Pull your pelvis back. Pull your knees up. Send your knees to one side. Your pelvis reaches. Pull your pelvis back and your knees back up. One more time. Knees and pelvis. Pelvis and knees. Last time, last side. Knees and pelvis. Pelvis and knees. And now roll over onto your side. On your side, reach through that long leg. Have your waist lifted. Fingertips in the ground. Exhale as you lift up. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you lift up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, stay there, kick forward and brush back. 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 Hold back in circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Second set. 1. First direction. 2, 3, 4. Last circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, go ahead and roll over to the other side. Bending the bottom leg, reach the top leg long. Exhale as you lift. Inhale, lower down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And hold it up at hip height. Inhale, kick forward. Exhale, brush back. Inhale, kick forward. Exhale, brush back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. First direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and roll over onto your back. Then just after all of that work, do a few more pelvic clocks, just working your way around. Feel how now the mobility feels more solid because you have control over it. All right, let's take this to standing. This is where you'll grab your chair. We want to put all of this information that we just put into our hips into the real world and standing. So go grab your chair. And then the first thing you're going to do is just stand on your 2 feet and pick up one leg and put it on the chair. You want your waist to be level, so you can put your hands right on your hips and let your hip lift up and let your hip drop down and let it lift up and drop down and up and down and up and up up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, keep that foot standing. You're going to send your knee forward. Push your foot into the ground to send your knee forward. And then push your foot into the chair to send your body back. Push into the ground to send your knee forward. Push to send it back. Push to send it forward. And send it back. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. And let's try that with the other side. Putting your foot on the ground, picking the other foot up. And first, hike that hip up and bring it down to just to find the place where you're square, where you're not too far down, too far up. You're square. And then push your foot into the ground and shift your weight forward. Push your foot into the chair and shift your weight back. And shift your weight forward. And shift your weight back. Then shift your weight forward. And shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward. Shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward. Shift your weight back. And forward. And back. And then from here, keep the chair closed because we're going to use that in a second. This movement that we've been working on in the hips is what we need for walking to protect our low back. So go ahead and take one foot forward. Put your fingers right on your greater trochanter, so the side of your hips. Now, when you shift your weight forward, the finger doesn't get higher than the other one. It moves to the side. So your fingers stay level. You just move to one finger when you're in the front foot and the other finger when you're at the back foot. And just feel that pendulum of the pubic bone as it's swinging on the top of the femur. And put the other foot in front. And shift. So our hips are a big supporter of walking. That makes sense. They're the top of the legs, I suppose. Keeping your fingers still, not still, they're shifts, they're just not up and down. Now the other way we use our hips is in lateral shifts. So say I'm walking down the street and say it's New York, pre-pandemic, and there's someone in front of me. I have to get out of the way. I have to quickly step to the side and then take the other foot forward. So we're going to do step and forward, back, side step, and forward step, back, side step, get yourself over that leg and forward step, side and forward, side, side, and forward. Now that becomes even more important if we take ourselves into a car to get out of the car. So you're going to take the chair. This is our car simulation. So you're sitting in the car. You're sitting right on the edge of your seat, of course. No, I'm just kidding. And you're going to pick up your foot. So you have to have the strength through the hip flexor to pick up the foot. So first, just pick up one foot and then the other. Finding the strength, pick up one foot and the other. Now you're going to pick up that foot, put it to the side of the chair, and then it is a big move to get to that leg. And then you can go about your business and then sit back down. Now this movement has to come in the hips. So that femur bone does all kinds of things to get there. Then you shift through the hips to stand on one leg. And then back down and shift, stand on one leg and down. And stand on one leg and down. Stand on one leg and down. And again, one leg and down and one leg. And then the last piece of function, not the last, the hips have all kinds of functions, but this last one for this class is balance. So now, if you stand with your feet right next to each other and close your eyes, notice there are wobbles because we are wobbly beings, but that it's our hip sockets that stop the wobbles from turning into a fall. And when you're on one leg, it's one hip socket. And your ankle is a very big part of this, but your ankles and your hips work together to keep you vertical. And try the other side. And go back to the first side. And back to the other side. All right. That is your healthy hip class for today. We will see you next time.